In its sixth missile test this month, North Korea has fired another unidentified projectile towards waters of its east coast. This comes as Kim Jong-un continues to flex the country's military muscle and ignores Washington's offers for peace talks. South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff have said that they had detected the launch of 2 ballistic missiles on the east coast of North Korea. The suspected missiles are likely to have landed outside Japan's exclusive economic zone. The last time North Korea tested this many weapons in a single month was back in 2019. That is when a high-profile negotiation between North Korean leader, UN, and former US President Donald Trump collapsed. North Korea earlier this month indicated that it will strengthen its defenses against the United States and will consider resuming its nuclear and long-range weapons testing in a blatant warning to the West. North tested suspected ballistic missiles on the 14th of January and the 17th of January and fired what it said were hypersonic missiles on the 5th and 11th of January. Now, these back-to-back missile testing by North Korea once again has raised fears of worsening tensions between North Korea and the West. This series of tests has drawn condemnation from governments in the United States, Japan, and has also sparked an emergency meeting of the UN Security Council.
Giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Shema Rashah, that one honor to the apostle and the brother, speaking truth from the world, show the one to the elect, show the one. So let's get right into it. So you see, let's go to Joel chapter 1, verse 15. It says, "Alas, for the day of the Lord is at hand, and destruction from the Almighty shall it come." Right from the Let me do it again. So like Joel chapter 1, verse 15. It says, "Alas, for the day of the Lord is at hand, and destruction from the Almighty shall it come." Right. Joel chapter 2 verse 1, terrible vision. Joel chapter 2 verse 1, it said, "Blow you the trumpet in Zion, sound a holy alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord come forth. It's not at hand." Right, it's not at hand. Verse 2, "A day of darkness and gloomy, a day of cloud and thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountain, and the great people are as strong. There have not been, even there like it, neither shall be any more after, even to this year of many generations." Right. Blow the trumpet in Zion. We get again. Joel 2:1, it said, "Blow you the trumpet in Zion, in my holy mountain." Let me read it again. So like it. Joel chapter 2 verse 1, it said, "Blow you the trumpet in Zion, sound a holy alarm in my holy mountain." So like, let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord come forth, is not at hand. Joel 3:9. Plow your politicals of your this among the Gentiles, repair war, wake up the mighty man, and let all the men of the war, the mighty man, let all the man war draw near, let come up, beat your pretty sword and sword, and your pillar hooks into spirit, and let the weak say, I'm strong." Right, let the weak say, I'm strong. Verse 12, "Let the heathen be weak, and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for they were set to judge all the heathens round about." Right. Read again, Joel 3:2, "And let the heathens be weak, and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for they were set to judge all the heathens round about." Okay, that's select. mean. I'm going to Matthew. Oh, Matthew 16:1. Right here. Let's get right to it. In Matthew chapter 16, verse 3, it says, in the morning it will be fall weather. Today, with the sky is red, O Lord, O you hypocrite. You can discern the face of the sky, but can you not discern the signs of the time? Right? Can you not discern the signs of the time? Verse 4. You are wicked and adulterous generation, seeking after sign. There shall no sign be given unto it, but the sign of the prophet Jonah. And he left in and depart. Right? He left and then he depart. Let's go to Matthew 24. So you see, man, we are coming into some evil times. Now people don't have no idea. Matthew 24, verse 3, and he sat upon the Mount Olivet, and the disciples came up to him privately and said, tell us, what should those things be, and what should be the signs of thy coming, and the end of the world? Right, end of the world. Verse 4, and Yahweh shall answer and say unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. For me should come in my name, say Mashiach, and deceive many. Right. Perilous times. Let's see, keep going. Matthew 24, verse 22. Except those days to be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days should be shortened. Right, for the elect's sake, those days should be shortened. Again, Matthew 24, verse 22. Except those days should be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Let's go to Matthew 24. Yeah, Matthew 24, verse 33. So likewise, you will see. So likewise, you shall see all those things. Know that it is near, even at the door. Right, even at the door. Very I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all those things be fulfilled. Right, till all those things be fulfilled. Read again, Matthew 24, verse 3. It's like Matthew 24, verse 34. Very I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all those things be fulfilled. Heaven and earth shall pass, but my word shall not pass away. Matthew 24, verse 42. It said, be ready for his coming, right? Be ready for his coming. It said, watch therefore, for you know not what hour your Lord does come, right? Watch. Verse 44. Therefore be you also ready, for sure an hour think not the Son of Man coming. Alright, coming. What else? Let's go to Luke. Luke 21. Verse 34. I think I'm going to go 25. Turn of the daughter. Luke 21, verse 25. And there should be signs in the suns and in the moon, and stars upon the earth, distress of nations would pass perversely, and the sea and the waves of war. Many heart fail things for fearing and looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the power of heaven shall be shaken. Matthew 21, verse 34. It said, take heed to yourself, and let any time your heart be overcharged with suffering and drinking, and caring of this life, and so that day come upon you unaware, right? Come upon you unaware, for as the snare should come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. Luke 21 verse 36. It said, watch you therefore, and pray always that you may be accounted worthy to escape all those things should come to pass and stand before the Son of Man. You see, Luke 21 verse 36, it said, watch you therefore, and pray always that you may be accounted worthy to escape all those things should come to pass and stand before the Son of Man. So let's get right to this other video.
Today I'm going to show you how to make the survival food that saved America during the Great Depression. It's long-lasting without...
From Russia and Ukraine met in Paris to diffuse tension seemingly, the United States is now busy issuing fresh warnings, this time of a full-fledged invasion by Russia. The top U.S. diplomat Wendy Sherman echoed the same concerns today. The U.S. remains convinced that Vladimir Putin is ready to use force against Ukraine by mid-February. Basically, what Sherman is saying is that Putin is set to travel to the Beijing Olympics in February, and any military action during his presence at the Olympics could upset the Chinese President Xi Jinping. So the U.S. estimates that he could use force by sometime around mid-February. The U.S. Embassy in Ukraine urged its citizens to consider departing now, as fears continue over the possible fears of a Russian invasion of Ukraine. In a statement, the embassy warned that the security situation could deteriorate with little notice. Russia, on the other hand, is busy displaying its military might to the world. It has sent more troops towards Ukraine than ever before and has also begun massive military drills with all its fleets. The Defense Ministry has now published videos showing the units moving towards Russia's Rostov region, a region that borders Ukraine. The military also announced new drills involving 6,000 more troops near Ukraine. Another video shows fighter jets being relocated to Belarusian airfields. Russia has sent 2 battalions of the S-400 surface-to-air missile systems to Belarus. Both the nations will hold joint military exercises called the Allied Resolve to repel external aggression. There's more. More than 20 warships have entered the Black Sea. Videos show now that warships with radar transmitters on maneuvers are deployed in the Black Sea region. And according to Moscow, the presence of the massive warships is a part of a scheduled naval exercise in the Mediterranean. Amid all this military display, Moscow has maintained its denial to invade Ukraine, instead blaming the West for quote-unquote hysteria. The Russian state TV has also replicated the same tone. The state media says it's Western panic that is now fueling tensions in the region.
NATO is scrambling to beef up its eastern flank, and Western governments have warned of crippling economic sanctions if Russia invades Ukraine. But watching Russian state TV provides little sense of impending conflict. Russian state TV, a vital tool for the Kremlin's public messaging, says panic in the West is fueling the tensions, along with U.S. troop reinforcements to the region and arms supplies to Kiev. Not the 100,000 Russian troops gathered near Ukraine's border. Independent polling data shows the Kremlin's message that the West and not Moscow poses a threat to peace is widely believed in Russia.
Russia will not attack anyone, but I can believe there will be a huge Western provocation, which is already being undertaken. And Russia will start a war against somebody. No, Russia will defend itself, and it must.
Denis Volkov, director of the independent Moscow-based pollster Levada, says it's important to the Kremlin that it looks like the West is inflaming the situation.
And from the information side, there's more of it on the West. It turns out that we don't want war, but the West does. No one is invading, but we are the ones who are blamed.
Anti-American sentiment and scathing commentary about Ukraine's pro-Western governments have been staples of Russian state TV since 2014, when Moscow's annexation of Crimea and backing for a separatist revolt in East Ukraine shattered relations with Kiev. Western diplomats, analysts, and others are now scrutinizing Russia's state media coverage of Ukraine for any drumbeats of war and for clues as to whether President Vladimir Putin's troop deployments are indeed the prelude to a military move or just a bluff to extract security concessions from the West. Moscow says it wants written responses to its demands this week, which include never allowing Ukraine to join NATO.
For more on this, joining us now is our correspondent Susan Tehrani, who joins us live from New York. Susan, thanks again for joining us. Now, the United States yet again has raised a global alarm over a Russian invasion of Ukraine, warning its embassy officials to leave Ukraine. We've seen troop deployment from all sides. Russia, in fact, is holding drills and a lot more. How does the conflict stand as of now, and how realistic is the fear of a Russian invasion of Ukraine at this point in Washington?
So the latest developments that we have right now, news is that one of the chief negotiators, Wendy Sherman, just had a conversation with Estonian officials, and you can see how concerned European officials are, asking the United States what they think that Russia's next move is. And there's a quote from Wendy Sherman in the readout that basically says that she does not know what Vladimir Putin's next move is, and she predicts that perhaps what will happen is that Vladimir Putin, first of all, she makes clear that she does not own the only person that knows what Vladimir Putin's next move is Vladimir Putin. But what she predicts is that if Russia decides to invade, it would be after the Beijing Olympics, and that would be sometime in mid-February, considering the fact that Vladimir Putin plans on going to the Beijing Olympics on February 4th. That's when it's supposed to launch. A little look back in history, just in 2014, Vladimir Putin did decide to annex the Crimean Peninsula after the Sochi games. Right. I'm sure our viewers recall, and so that's something to take into consideration, and something to note that perhaps
at direct sanctions
regardless. That's something that Washington is trying to prevent right now, and with it coming out and saying that the option of not sending troops inside Ukraine basically is off the table, then it sees this option sort of, putting sanctions on Vladimir Putin, at least saying that it wants to. We'll see whether or not, Biden really goes ahead and does that or not. It sees the only path forward. It has to do something at this point. America has to say something at this point to get that kind of authority back in these talks. A lot of analysts are saying that, Putin has Biden where he wants to have him. So, it's natural that the United States would come out with these statements at this point.
Right. Susan Tehrani, our correspondent from New York, thank you so much for all those insights, and thanks for joining us on Beyond this hour. Now, for a better understanding of the Russia-Ukraine crisis as it stands as of now, we earlier spoke to an international affairs analyst from Moscow, the Moscow State University in particular, Boris Volkonsky. Listen in to his inputs on the subject.
The main thing is that there are Minsk agreements, and both sides are to fulfill the Minsk agreements and withdraw the troops, the heavy troops, from the nearest proximity of the line of the standoff. And as for Normandy format, well, I think it's quite plausible and it's quite feasible that it should go on. But the fact is that all this, noise and informational warfare that surrounds it prevents from real talks on real matters. It's always better to talk.
So you see, man. Let's go. Some scriptures. Let's go to take Exodus 9. Take Exodus 9 verse 1. It says, and he answered me and said, measure the time diligent in ourselves, and when thou see part of the assigned path which I have told you before, thou should understand that it is the very same time when then the highest will begin to visit the world which he made, right, which he made. Verse 3. Therefore, when they shall be seen earthquake upward of the people in the world, and thou shalt will understand the Most High spoken of those things from the day that were before thee, even from the beginning. Verse 5. Look at for like as all that is made in the world had a beginning and an ending, and the end is manifest. Right, the end is manifest. As you see, man, the end is manifest. Read it again. 2 Ezra 9 verse 5. For like as all that is made in the world had a beginning and an ending, and the end is manifest, even so that time also of highest had plans beginning in the wonders and power works, and end and effect of a sign. Everyone that should be saved and should be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby you have believed. Right. Read that again. 2 Ezra 9 verse 7. And everyone that shall be saved and by be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby you have believed shall be preserved from the same peril, shall see my salvation in my land and with my borders, for I have sanctified thee from me from the beginning. And they shall be in pitiful case which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away and despised it shall despiteful shall dwell in torment. For sure as their life had received benefit, have not known me. Verse 11. And they have loved my law, will they had yet liberty, and was yet placing of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it. The same must know it after death by pain. Right, after death by pain, man. The same must know it by death by pain. Let's move on. Up, wrong one. 2 Ezra 9 verse 15. It said, behold, I speak in the ears of my peoples the word of prophecy, which I have put in thy mouth, said the Lord, are causing to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Right, they are faithful and true. Verse 4, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Right, all the unfaithful shall die in unfaithfulness. Verse 5, behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. Right, it's going to be plagues upon the world, man. Read it again. 2 Ezra chapter 15, verse 5. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. Right, destruction. So, man. So, right, so you see the time that we are in, man. And now people still don't have no idea. Destroyed for lack of knowledge, man. Have no idea. I'm going to close it out right there. So, giving all praise and honor glory to Yahweh, by Shema Bashah, done with to apostle and brothers, speak the truth from the world. Shalom to the elect. Shalom.